Ladies and gentlemen, I want to play you this video here. And in this video, GINTU Goes Nuclear and decided to respond to DavyJnr and Dancing Grandma.
Party, which was the dowry day, and what happened about the wedding and the dowry day, because it was dowry and wedding at the same time. I saw the jumpsuit, people were in a suit like something else, and people were asking about, oh, GINTU, where were you? GINTU sent much of the spies to go and look for the video from that kind of a position. These are just small crackatooing things, eh? And if I want to be checking how bigger I am, I can just give you how much.
Decided to go nuclear and decided to confront and rattle DavyJnr and the Dancing Grandma. And indeed, GINTU is confirming that he recorded the clip and sent spies as well. In the same breath, GINTU is confirming to us that it's big, that if Congress, if DavyJnr and Dancing Grandma decide to go and report the police, therefore they will be shocked to find how GINTU big he is. And that one alone begs the question, how is big GINTU? The last time I check, the biggest of GINTU is measurable to the physical look or the physical structure. Is so gigantic in that kind of structure. Another way that makes GINTU so big is how loud GINTU is. That one makes it big and so loud. Always gallivanting in what we call the verbosity makes him look so big. But at the end, it is a behavior of what we call the gigantic fools. That's how they behave. And that one does not warrant GINTU that GINTU can accomplish anything should the law take its place. GINTU is not bigger than the law. GINTU is not bigger than somebody's privacy. GINTU is not bigger than the police. GINTU is not bigger when it comes to maintaining law and order. That is a kind of a mere vexations, threats, verbiages that are never making sense in this YouTube street. In that video, it was in response to what Grandma and DavyJnr really complained of naysayers hiding into a corner and start filming the Grandma house, Grandma function without any other kind of a consent. Perhaps let's watch this video in a minute.
Tunaweza waonesha vitu zenye wanasemanga.
Nataka nyinyi mnielekeze hivi na mshikaji.
Endo report tu kwa polisi. Walipiga hata video yako video.
Wala kuja kupiga video mpaka hata pale.
Wanajificha kwa maini.
Sasa hata nani hapo walikuwa hapo wale wanani wa GINTU wanachukua hapa. Hadi ngome ni zao.
About arresting the haters, I support her big time. And I will support her big time. Because I'm told there is one of the haters who came and hide or inside the cone. I don't know if that person is like normal, you know? How can a normal person hide inside the cone? People are just crazy, you know? Very, very crazy. So about arresting the haters, I'll support her. Because the law doesn't allow someone's property to be recorded without her consent, you know. So about that, I'll support her. I second that 100%. People, they are, I don't know. People, they are very evil. How can someone hide inside a corn and record, you know? Inside here? I'm told it, I don't know.
That's confirming to you that Grandma decided to complain that he wants to go and pursue or arrest the GINTU and the Matikos family who was spying on him or who was spying on her home. In that conversation, DavyJnr is telling her, you go and report to the police. We have all the evidence in form of videos. Just go and press the charges. So this is the video that GINTU was scathingly attacking or scathingly responding to. And GINTU is telling them, you go and try to report, then you'll find me that I'm bigger than all those. GINTU has continued with an onslaught in the face of threatening Grandma. And in that video, GINTU also described Grandma in another negative possible way. And lack of disrespect. You know, at the moment, I just feel at one time, the videos that DavyJnr is having and that anybody is having should just go seriously and press the charges that is so serious that we'll find this guy one time behind the bars. I believe it can happen. I believe it can happen. If we are so serious without not removing or withdrawing cases, I think GINTU at one point will learn his lessons. He will learn his lessons. Imagine you are confirming and even giving caution and even threatening that if they dare try to go and report, then they will find how bigger you are. You know, there are other things. Let's just be sure and be real. There are other things that really happens in Nyaboanzi. Cannot happen to any some villages in Kenya. To yours truly village, these are the things that you'll never see. People are always calm. People never step to anybody's boundary. If you want a place whereby, if you rattle, you'll be rattled triple. You don't just go there anybody or issue threats left and right, threatening people that you're big. You'll find if you're bigger in your village, therefore get to know before you move to the next village. Therefore, there are other people who are so bigger. How I wish Grandma should just move to the police, then the police would come. All that DavyJnr will be doing is to present the evidence that is having, then the police will act on that notion. It is like GINTU has never learned. GINTU has never learned. So guys, if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, kindly click at the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube channel notify instantly. To my last subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. So let's dive in after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our YouTube chit chat. My name is Nazak and this is my YouTube channel. So guys, let's dive in straight away lest we forget. If you want to see the lies, and it's not the first lie, it is a lie that at one point was told in this YouTube street by the lazy gang, leave alone GINTU. But that time GINTU was still with IAMMARWA camp. And now GINTU has decided to pick the same lies and making stories for Matiku and the Mukami, the two drunkards, the double M drunkards. So GINTU think that people outside here are foolish, are thick. GINTU is thinking that the issue that he's saying is the new issue. Yet this is the issue that everybody was privy to, and we also what really transpired when Amara was in the USA. Perhaps let's listen to that video in a short while, then we'll come and put everything into perspective and to discount the lies.
And he was obligated. Yeah, this gentleman, I'm saying, he was at the state, USA, and he never told people and the YouTubers and the supporters how he was doing his own misery to the girl child. And he was dealing with them ruthlessly in a way like the government knew. People reported to the government. He was like it's called molestation. It's called molestation. So he never told the sponsors and the people who are just supporting him, I have done a demolestation or I've been reported with the molestation, and please bear with me. I'm going to be coming out from this kind of the time and ABCD. His YouTube account was closed in a way like he could not earn using the AdSense of the YouTube. He was fined $250,000 US. If he can pay it, now the case could continue. If not, he is not allowed to step to the USA any spot. If he's found, he will be captured and deposited on the he will be reallocated to Kenya with an immediate effect.
He was deported.
He could be deported.
Yeah.
And he was given a warning. And that's the time he had to vanish from the US, come back to the village. He sat to the village more than 9 to 1 year before going anywhere, because every time was, I'm going here, I'm going here. So he was not earning any money from the YouTube, because the AdSense he had registered from the US, they were cut. During the party time, these kind of the gentlemen were not earning money. He was only benefiting with the charity that he was doing, and also the people who could bring. That's why he said, you bring something to the party, because he was not earning money. People had to supplement goats, people had to supply cooking oil, and the people could just go and take everything from their home and take them there for the support of the shout out. And there's nothing happened. You understand? This kind of the people who brought so many things to that kind of the party time, they're now looking like awkward people outside here. They're talking about, I wish I knew I could not waste this kind of the time. And due to that kind of the fantastic module, so he had to go to this kind of the other. He had to look for Maja KE, because Maja KE has something called a post office code. They have an post office address. So we had to use this boy to send a new. So he had to create a new AdSense here at the village that's going to be monetizing from Kenya and Switzerland.
Exactly.
You understand? So the AdSense had to be sent to this kind of Maja KE postal odd, so as they can just get it. So this kind of the code delayed to come from the YouTube, and he was pushing this kind of the boy, go and see, whenever I come, I'll just make you fishers of men. But at the end of the time, this gentleman, whenever the code came, and he just went to the post office, including the same spot he was. He never even traveled with it back in home, because it was in Sirari. Whenever he took it from the post office, he told him, can you tear it there and read those kind of the codes immediately? So he had to read those kind of the monetizing codes to him, which is the monetization code, to him while he was there. And when he came back, he again abolished and said, I don't need this kind of the gentleman behind me. So during that time, he was told he has to go through the chief, and sub-chief has to put a record like, you are unto that village, and everything has to happen that way. So he went to bow down. And I say, time is money, and matters of time matters.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. That's what is now encountered. And he had to go down and beg and talk about, hey, please, can you do this and this?
The video itself,
it's the same.
all lies.
What?
The only constant thing that Ammara was in US, another constant thing that there was problem between Ammara and the particular person who was hosting Ammara, the first person, the pig, Mr. Pig. That is the only thing that is true. But other kind of blah 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 story is these are these hot hairs, the story that are never making sense. You know, we've explained what really happened to Ammara was a story that was well scripted, that somebody elsewhere wanted Ammara to be arrested. Then the naysayers also jumped into it to skyrocket the story. Therefore, nothing with the YouTube channel, there was nothing wrong with the YouTube channel. The only thing that happened with the Ammara AdSense, that one time, for example, if you're traveling, and you decided to travel, when he was in US, Ammara went to Argentina. There was nothing that really becomes the problem. The only problem was, there are other countries that sometimes, because when you go and you change the account, because through the AdSense, they will send money to your account. And what really happened to Ammara, Ammara had changed the accounts where the money from the AdSense will be deposited. Then from that moment, it takes time that you have to reset your AdSense pin. Because as of now, let's say, for example, now, my AdSense is linked to my specific bank account. But anytime if I would want to change and link another bank with AdSense account, therefore it will force me also to change the AdSense. And sometimes also is a tricky situation. You might be linking, then in the process of linking, you click other things that sometimes interfere also with the AdSense itself, that will also force you that you need to change an AdSense. That is what really happened with Ammarwa. And if you remember, when Ammarwa was even at the party, you used to tell people, I have problems with my account, I still don't have money. But it's not in this version that GINTU is now want to tell us, because GINTU is telling us in the original versions how the lazy gang used to tell us, because it's a story that is picked, of which I know GINTU just wanted to run with it to make its content long, but it's a verbiage story that are never making sense. So what really happened? Ammarwa was not changing. Ammarwa changed the AdSense because the account, it was a new AdSense being changed. Are we understanding? Are we understanding? It is the new AdSense that was being changed. And also, following the reasons, it could be also because when Ammarwa was being hosted in that house with MPIG, there was also an attempt for somebody to interfere with the Ammarwa account. Maybe Ammarwa had thought and seen there is some kind of gameplay. The best thing to do is, let me change the AdSense so that my money is safe. So if you don't have an AdSense, or your AdSense is not yet linked to a specific kind of bank account, money will come through AdSense, but it won't be deposited to your account. Until such a time the money will be deposited to your account is when you can withdraw. So what really happened was, Ammarwa had changed the account. It's either on a suspicious ground that maybe MPIG might have interfered with it, or he had already changed a bank account that linked to the new AdSense. Therefore, the PIN must come. If you create a new AdSense, you must wait for the PIN. And this PIN is what will enable you to key link it, then you get your payment. How do you get your PIN? If you're in your local country, therefore getting PIN is so easy, rather than when you're international. When you're international, but Ammarwa AdSense by then was now reading Kenya, because at this moment Ammarwa told us, for a long time when it was in America, by the time when it was still living in Colombia, its AdSense was created in America. It was an American AdSense. But now it found that Ammarwa had really lived back in Kenya for a period of 1.5 years. Therefore, there was also need of him to change the AdSense, because that is a prompt that came from the Google. Because Google will tell you, you have to change your what? AdSense to match the country of your living. Then, when you change it, it will pop in and you will require a new PIN. So the PIN won't come to the country you say, because when Ammarwa changed it, it will read now Kenya. It's an AdSense of Kenya. So where shall PIN come from? The PIN will come to Kenya. And you must have a postal code, or you have to receive it to any other public postal code. It could be a nearby primary school or high school or an institution. Or if you have a friend, you can contact a friend. And its merger, KE, the father had got the PO postal code address and box. And majority of people in that village and most of the YouTubers in that village received their PIN through its merger. So its merger was just a conveyor belt. Nothing, there's no big role that he plays. It's just give me, read for it, and that is it. Even GINTU found its PIN from merger's coastal pod code. So leave alone all the hogwash story that you're being told that there were a lady involved. We also all these things, all the narrative is hogwash. You know? And in this video that he's saying, he was speaking but concealed the name of Ammarwa because he's still having a case in court. He never wanted to mention the name of Ammarwa. But we know when he speaks who had the party, Ammarwa. You know? And this is the story at one point he's talked about. Therefore, it tells you GINTU is still hell-bent in doing very many sins, in doing very many crimes, that I believe at one point the law will catch up with him. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Until next time, this is your boy Senior Zach.